Well, lads, today we have a very special guest on the channel. So, yeah, do you want to introduce yourself? I'm fairly sure they know who you are.
Yes, Energenic, or just call me Nick. You know, that's what everyone refers to me as. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so how did this video come about? So someone was impersonating you.
Yeah.
And then we started speaking, and now here we are. So
Yeah.
essentially, what we're going to be doing is just rating your guys' snipes. So ask you guys on Twitter, and of course Nick did as well, to send us your best snipes, and we're just going to be judging your guys' sniping ability. So you're mainly known for your dart matter snipes, aren't you?
Yeah, that's really all I snipe.
Just as a general thing, why is it just dart matters? Like, do you just get bored sitting there for like 5 hours at a time?
It's because I want to make the biggest profit. I don't want to waste my time using like a cheaper filter or getting cheaper cards because I feel like it's not worth my time, especially because I always have like at least 1 million MT. There's no point in me going for any cheaper cards.
So rather a quality over quantity thing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so looking at the first one, we have a point guard center Larry Bird for 2,900. So I imagine he's about what, 30k at the moment?
Yeah, I'm actually looking right now. He's like mid 30Ks or so. Yeah.
I'm seeing as well. I imagine this is just narrow position filter because I'm seeing Boris Dio on there as well. So I'm surprised no one, and you have to scroll potentially, so I'm surprised no one on the Opal filter
Got
managed
that.
to
Yeah,
get it,
exactly.
like, quickly. So to be fair, for scrolling ability, I'd rate that quite highly. Obviously, it's not the most valuable, but in terms of like just sitting on out of position, the lowest one, and seeing it, it's not too bad.
No, yeah, it's definitely a solid site. Like, I'll take that. You know, I'll be happy for that. He did have to scroll, like you said, but yeah, it's a good snipe, but nothing to be like freaking out over, I don't think.
No, it's not like your T-Mac level of
Yeah, exactly.
Still can't believe you got that.
2 of them.
Oh my gosh! Yo! I kid you not, I sniped another Tracy!
Okay, alright, we're getting on to big boys. We got a Dikembe Mutombo, and he had to scroll somehow. Don't know how you get a Mutombo after scrolling. I'll figure out what filter is this, because them Bosches have been up for a while.
It looks like maybe he's using enabled.
Or Eastern, could be Eastern.
Could be.
So, how much is Dikembe now? He's like 300k roughly?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. This one with 4 contracts and no shoes ending at 400k.
I mean, that's not too bad. That's not much to scoff at. I personally wouldn't say no. Yeah, obviously best sniper of the day so far, like without question. Moving on, we have another scroll. I swear, I don't know how people get so lucky with scrolls.
Yeah, I don't know.
Literally, they pop up for me and it's gone. We have a Porzingis for 100k. Do you know how much he is off the top of your head? I think he's like 150, 160.
Nah, he's more than that. He's in the 200s, close to 300.
Oh, okay. This snipes a little bit better than I thought it was then. I think it just in terms of you having to scroll. It's just always the scrolling one that like intrigues me the most.
It's a viable option nowadays. Like, you can actually scroll and legitimately get a lot of snipes. And now, unfortunately for me, yesterday on a scroll, I missed a Ben Simmons and a Paul George on the same refresh. But I mean, it works sometimes for some people, as you're seeing, or as we're seeing right here. You know, sometimes it'll work for you, sometimes it won't. In terms of this situation, I mean, you got lucky.
It's just, that would just turn me off the filter so much, missing 2 in 1.
In 1 refresh.
Like, that's why I just can't do it. Like, if I miss like a 5k card and I find out it sells for like 12 or 13, I'm like, all right, whatever. If I miss like a, I don't know, Invincible Kobe, I'm just like, nah, controller across the room. No thank you.
No, for me, like when I miss something, it just makes me want to spend more time. I'm like, yeah, I gotta get the next one, you know?
Said on stream the other day, how do you stay motivated? Like, someone asked you, and you just said, just say you keep motivated. I tried it for 5 minutes, and I was just like, I'm just too like, it's definitely for certain people.
Yeah,
like, I'll take my 3 or 4k profit per card, but yeah, obviously a lot of them. So definitely personal preference. Thornmaker for somehow 8,000 MT.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's I don't think I've seen a dark matter for 500, but you know, I never seen like a card like that for 8k. No, that's crazy.
So like the only time I know of like cards that like sell for like 500 or like a Dharma is they say like a content creator's lost like a challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know who, you know what, this Thornmaker, not a massive fan. I'm gonna sell him for 8k. Like, I just don't know
What?
I just don't know who does that.
Yeah, I don't know what was going through that man's mind when he decided to post
I
that.
think maybe he's looked at his silver card and be like, you know what, that's probably what he's probably worth.
I mean, they got to be colorblind or something to mistake that. Like, it's clear as day. Even if you can't even see colors, you see the badges, like, you know? there's no reason to post that guy for 8K.
I don't get people, man. So Snipe, best Snipe?
I think that's the best one so far. I mean, he's the cheapest one we've seen. And then he may not be as expensive as like Dikembe, but I would say more profit would be made because the fact that Dikembe was 100K, this one is only 8K. And if it was me, I would probably just keep that because you're basically getting a free card.
Yeah, how much did Dama's quick sell for? It's like 6?
Yeah, I think so.
6K? That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, we have a Dartmouth Simmons. So it looks like a fresh one. So I know I checked Simmons the other day because have you heard about my Giannis mishap?
You really missed one?
Oh no. Right. So I get this right. So I bought a Dartmouth Giannis for 1.265 million.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, right, you know what? Let's chuck blinders, let's chuck range, let's chuck all them on him. Went to check him earlier. He sold for 1.165 million.
Okay.
So I lost 50K, and then before tax, I probably lost like 200K plus a half range and a half blinders.
Yeah, it sucks. It's like a gamble. I feel like sometimes when you do things like that, you know.
Dude, I would love 2K to just bring back the, you know, where they had like, you could actually list a card for 1 million MT. Like I think it was like in 2K16.
Yeah, it was 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I generally would love them to bring that back. Like, because while people like the randomness, I don't. When you get stung, you don't like it. Like you really don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that feature. I mean, I like the way it is now. I guess I'm just kind of.
Obviously, I imagine like for snipes and stuff, it probably helps that it's capped at 100K. Blake Griffin for 500, another fresh one.
There
it
we
looks
go.
like it's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, who posted that, but that's a great one. You know, he doesn't have too much value. He's around 120. Like whenever he pops up for me, I usually pass on it just because, like, my philosophy is if a card goes for 130 or less, I'm not gonna even bother buying it for 100K. But if it was 500, I absolutely would take it. You know, so good for him.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not guaranteed. Depends on what the shoes and the badges and all that. And in the time when a card pops up, I don't really have time to look at all the other stuff. I just look at the player and that's really it, and the price that it's posted at. All the other stuff is like I can't process all that in my brain in the time, so I don't really know what it's gonna go for until after I get the snipe.
Yeah, you legit see a card. It's just, I remember Gary Payton popped up first time. I'm like, oh my god, and then it's just like, oh wait, no, that's actually not anything.
Exactly, yeah.
But what do you say first is Thorn or Dikembe?
I gotta go Thon. No, yeah, I think I have to go Thon.
We did another Kristaps, but instead we have a Kristaps for 5K. God, man, I would literally give my soul to like snipe one of these. It's just I just can't sit there for hours. This one, I get really upset.
Oh, I'm going to. One of these days, I'm gonna get a snipe like that.
Generally, like, I remember seeing your T-Mac like reaction when you sniped that. I couldn't imagine your reaction for like an invincible Kobe or an invincible card in general.
Yeah.
Like,
I would be bouncing off the walls.
I imagine it doesn't beat out Thon.
No, I think Thon has a little bit more value. I mean, I don't know because they're around the same. Now that I'm looking at it, they're around the same. I mean, it's kind of debatable as to like which card is better, because I mean you could always talk about how much the card goes for, but then again, like some people like to keep their snipes, so which one is better between the two out of those two cards? Like I don't know. I mean, I've used both of them. KP's a little taller. I mean, it's hard to say. This one was a little bit cheaper. I don't know. I mean, they're very similar.
Try not to be biased and say Kristaps is clearly the best one, but he's definitely up there with the best one.
Yeah, that might take it might take the #1 spot, or it's like very neck and neck with that Thon. At least for me.
Well, I wouldn't talk about #1 spot. So we have the last one, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Someone had to given up on the game or something for this to happen. Like, that's literally how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's like 7. What, 7 cards right there? And then
yeah, and potentially some of the end as well.
Yeah, probably. There's probably even more if you could scroll. But I mean, the guy who got this, like, if I saw this, I would legit be freaking out. Like, I wouldn't even be mad to be missing the other ones. If I just get one of them, I'm happy. Like, it doesn't matter which one it is, because all these guys have a lot of value. The cheapest one is probably Tatum, and he goes for good value.
I don't know. If you get Tatum, I imagine you get a bit salty when you see other ones up there.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys, you know, I'm happy with any of one of them.
So, obviously, this is the best thing. Even if he just got LeBron, it would probably be the best one.
Yeah.
Not probably, would be the best one.
I wonder if he tried to get Paul George first and missed it, or if he just went for AD and LeBron first. I wish I would have seen the video clip for that.
Honestly, what goes through your mind when you see all this? Do you try the first one, or do you rush to the end one?
I would try the first one. Yeah.
I don't, because my thing with that is, like, I know everyone will try the first one, but if I rush to the end, no one will try the end ones. But then it's also like if people are filtered through Western,
it works.
And they get there quicker.
It works sometimes, but like I was saying earlier when I missed the Ben Simmons and the Paul George, there was a Derrick Rose in the beginning, and I avoided him because he wasn't going to make me much profit. And I went straight to the Ben Simmons, and I missed it because someone in the stream happened to be sniping Ben Simmons by his name, so he wouldn't see any other card, and he didn't have to scroll past anything else. So it works sometimes, but if someone is on a filter where they're going to see Anthony Davis or LeBron, let's say like a Lakers filter specifically, and they don't even have to worry about seeing Paul George, then, you know, they're going to get that before. So that's why I say, you know, sometimes you could just go for the first one, or you could try to go towards, you know, towards the back and get one of those because other people will go for the first. It really depends who's on what filters at the time.
Yeah, you really set up well for the Lakers filter in that snipe.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so that's all we have. So we'll ignore the last one, because obviously that's like unanimous number one.
Yeah.
So are we saying KP was the best one?
I think so.
So obviously I'll try and take the bias out of it because next round obviously. But even still, like just the profit you make, how much you spent, that's, I don't even want to think of what like percentage profit you made there. Like must be in a couple $1,000% like profit.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely
the 5K
ridiculous.
KP we're talking about, because there was two of them.
Oh yeah. The 100K one's not even in contention for like the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna about do it. Anything you want to say in terms of like a closing up?
No, I'm just, you know, glad to be here. You know, it was pretty cool looking at all these snipes. I wish I could see these myself, you know. But, you know, one day maybe. Good luck to you too if you happen to see anything like this.
Yeah, so guys, go check out Nick's channel, of course. I imagine you know who he is anyway. Absolutely awesome dude. And yeah, I'll see you guys, if you guys have enjoyed, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, see you guys later. Take care. And I want to give a massive shout out to channel members Kev, Ant, Waze, Hans, Lewis, Wallow, Casey, Magic Magpie, Michael, Mario Santos, Kia, Jack Lane, Lindsay, Knell, and Josh's mum. Thank you guys so much for all your support.